echo, man. Get your shit together.
This meeting is being recorded. All right. Dave, you look like a professional. You've done this before? Look at Michelle waving.
I am a professional.
So what's going on? Do your beginning spiel there, Paul Lynn.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining Lethal Arms Network. We are blessed today to have the one and only Dave Marrocco on the call, one of my mentors in the sport, and blessed to have our friendship. He's got a tournament coming up. We just want to take a couple moments and talk about that, amongst other things that happen in the arm wrestling world. We also got James Reed on, our technical director. We've been working on this for about 2 hours. Thank you, James.
That's the worst title you could have gave me. Worst title you could have gave me, technical director. We've been trying to get on for a half hour.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I just said 2 hours, so you cut a lot of time out of what actually happened. All right, so Dave, we got you got your event coming up. I know you normally do 1 or 2 a year. There's some serious cash involved in this. You want to go ahead and give us the details on your event, and what can the folks who might be tuning in expect that they're going to come?
Well, it's in 2 weeks. It's in Severn. I believe it's in Severn, Maryland, so it's only a couple miles from where I live. And yeah, it's a nice little cash payout. So I believe, I don't know the exact numbers, but if you win your weight class, and this time it's only paying out on the right side. And if everything goes good, this time we're going to probably try to run this back and do the left in the springtime, or maybe the left and the right. So we'll see how this pans out. But if you win your weight class, and then I believe we have it set up, and James can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I was just.
Where you can win.
Yeah. So
if you can win your weight class, and then you can win the complete overall, is that 1,000, James?
You know what? I thought it was 1,000, but it's 1,050. So yeah, we
Even
can't
better.
get $1,050. We calculated wrong. We calculated wrong, but it's 1,050. Close enough. We wanted it to be 1,000 on the money.
Let's explain.
And we were trying to get $1,000 bill too, but James says they're no more. They're not in circulation anymore. So we really thought it would have been cool to get a real authentic $1,000 bill, but they're not in circulation anymore. So we have I think we got a big fake one to present to somebody if they do win.
We could have got $1,000 bill, but it would have probably cost us $4,000 to have that bill. You know what I mean? Because they sell them now. Yeah, because nobody has them. So just not to correct you already, we did put $100 for first place on the left side.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
we did.
And let me say this: I wouldn't be opposed. Let's just say, Paul, that this thing turns into just a ridiculous amount of people show up, and I see, and we talk, and James says, Jesus, we're really good on how many people come in. I would not be opposed to adjusting something on the fly, but we're just going to play that by ear. So as of right now, it's the right side and maybe 100 for the left side. And is it just one open for the girls, James, or is it 2 classes?
We have the 60 and the 61 plus. But
okay, so it's 2 classes for the women.
We're hoping we get enough women for that.
Right. So what you're saying though, Dave, is you're saying like if the entries the entries come through, that you would make adjustments to payouts?
I would make adjustments to maybe the left side of the spectrum, so the left arm. So I would try to share the wealth a little bit on the left side if the entries allow me to do so. Right.
So, I mean, that's a good point to circle back on too. And one of the reasons why I appreciate you as a human, Dave, is because I know you are not in this to make any money. You'd rather, be able to put your own money up for a great tournament We talked about this quite a bit, but I think it's important that people who are going to come to the tournament understand that you're not in this for entry fees. And if you do so happen to be on the green side of the entry fees, that you're willing to put them back into the payouts, which not a lot of promoters are willing to do. So hats off to you for that. And I think that that's a good point as far as those left-handed arm wrestlers or good lefties can understand that if you win your class, you're probably gonna double your entry fee or quadruple your entry fee, whatever. I think it's $25 to enter. So you stand to make a decent amount of money, and there's a potential for more there. So it's not an exclusion of left-handed arm wrestlers, but rather just a matter of funds and how they can't lose money, or doesn't stand a chance to lose too much money.
Lose a lot of money. Dave
Right.
also spent $500 so everybody would have an award, not just the guys that didn't take first place or didn't end in the cash. So we have awards for every person. That's
Nice.
custom awards for every person that enters the tournament, not just the guys that win the cash. We're not going to just give them an envelope and have them go. Everybody's getting awards too. So
right. So I think we missed some. I think we missed some key things that we probably want to follow up on, because a lot of the folks who might be watching this video who might be in the Northeast. What's the name of the event? I don't think we let off with that. And what's the date? And like, what is the pertinent information? And where can they find it?
That helps, huh?
Dave, it's Battle of Baltimore.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland, and it is August 21st, Saturday. So that's not this Saturday coming, it's the following one. Are we starting at 6, James, or 5? And all the information, the date, I don't know the address top of my head, but the flyer is going to get reposted. We're going to start to get very aggressive with reposting this flyer, because I'm probably going to refresh it every day from now to the tournament.
Well, I did put something in the discussion group. I put the medals in the discussion group today. There is an event page with the flyer. It's on Lethal Arms Apparel. It's listed under the Lethal Arms Apparel web or Facebook page under events. All the information is there. The classes are there. The money's there. Everything's there. And I'll send that link to everybody and send it to you, Dave, so you can just share that link out, because all the information is placed right in that. It's easy.
Well, the other thing we can do in this, we can copy that URL into this YouTube description down the bottom.
Yes.
So we can copy that URL. Unfortunately, we can't take the flyer itself and add it in any fashion, but the flyer will pop up. If you're not, that event is going to be on Lethal Arms Apparel Facebook page. So if you're not following, all you got to do is click follow. You should be able to come. You should be able to join it. And do us a favor also, if you're planning on coming and you see that event on Facebook, please click going to let us know what to prepare for, because that could affect how many refs we need to have on hand and things of that nature.
Correct.
And Paul, just to circle back just a bit on the people that take second, third, and fourth in these tournaments. So Paul Lynn happened to do very well by winning the ROTN last weekend or 2 weekends ago when we had this big event. So Paul, I'll ask you this. So I like to spread the wealth out, and I don't want to treat people that take second, third, and fourth as they're insignificant. Right. So the people that took second, third, and fourth to you, and even fifth and sixth, had they not been there, Paul, you have no one to arm wrestle.
Exactly.
So we have to start treating these people. Okay, is it cool to win? Of course it's cool to win. Everybody knows that. That goes without saying. But we have to treat the people that are, the second best arm wrestler in Maryland, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth. And so we just can't treat them as insignificant, because they are a bigger part of the 10-man roster, if you will. Just say 10 men in a class. So there's only one winner, and then there's second to 10th. So I just believe that, these people that are, I'm not even going to call it less than. They're just not quite up to par with the guy that wins. They're very significant to this whole equation of arm wrestling. And I think we got to
Right.
treat the people that are not winning these tournaments. And that's how you bring them along too. You know, they get, oh, I lost. You got to kind of, I know how it is when I don't do so well at a tournament, but I've done well and not done well. But we have to
Right.
appreciate the people that don't win the classes, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, you put the
I'm with you.
payouts. You put the payouts down to third place on this tournament. So
Yes.
so you know, you see a lot of times you see the payouts on first place. You see the payouts on the overall. The payouts are going down to third place.
Right.
So-
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, that's like a big thing to look at. And you know what? It's sometimes it's tough to get the sponsorship money or have the money out of pocket to be able to put it up. But when you can put $1,000 to a class and say it's 532, you know what I mean? And we're paying to third place. That's a big incentive for guys. Like, you know, like if it's a 198 class and we know Rob Vigent's showing up, you know, like that could be a long day for all of us in that 198 class. But we have hope because you never know how the bracket's going to break out. And we always know that there's a third and a second and a third place that we're competing for, and potentially a first based on the brackets. So when we as arm wrestlers go to a tournament, you like to hope that what we're doing is going there and paying our entry fee to compete and support the promotion and support the sport. But it's always nice to be able to have a return on investment also, or a potential for it. It feeds that, you know, competitive side to us. So I think when, like you say, you have a 10 or 12 man roster or 10 or 12 man bracket, when you're paying out down to third, almost all of those arm wrestlers have a shot at some of that money. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a big part of it. Big
And
part of it.
if you go back to WAL's initial format, I believe, and James, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I think you've been around longer when it comes to WAL, but I think they paid out to 8th place. And if you want people to show up to your finals and come to your regionals and qualify and be there at the end, money to 8th place is a big time incentive.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yes, that's what they did. So
I don't know if we're ever going to get back to that, but I mean, it's an interesting concept. If you pay out to 8th, that's there's money to be made.
I'd like to talk about all the fact that, and we touched on this. I touched on it a little bit. Did we do some other cast? All the years that Dave has spent bringing people into his house, training them, opening up his place for them to come and practice, working with these guys. How many years, Dave? 32, 34?
Yeah, we should have let off with
30,
that, man.
32. I've had my house open since 1989, where it'd be an apartment, then to a townhouse, and then to my house where I'm at now. So 32 years I've had, and I've only been arm wrestling. Well, I've been arm wrestling 34 years. So the first 2 years was at a bar, and then I kind of took over from 89 to now. And I really enjoy teaching the guys and showing them and trying to help these youngsters out. I get a lot of joy out of helping people progress or pointing them in the right direction. Like when Kenny Smith walked in, or even Paul Lynn walked in, just trying to help them the best of my ability and just point them in the right direction, you know. And then like Paul does all the hard work, and it's not just me. I'm just been one of the people, or one of the mentors or guys that's, you know, maybe gave him my little perspective on what I think works and what doesn't work. And he had about 4 years ago a habit of trying to rush the pin. I can remember when Paul was pulling, I forgot, it's Chris Myers, I think his name was. So just trying to rush the pin and just saying, hey, relax, don't go for the pin. And there's something to be said about that. Don't go for the pin till you can actually record the pin. Right. And we've all been guilty of doing that. So you can get position, hold position, and then the other person has to do. But yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy opening my house up and the camaraderie with all the people, all the pullers, the great relationships I've had over the years, and just got to meet a lot of great people. And I continue to do so, not because I'm forced, because I really enjoy it and I want to do it.
Well, I know you would never say
Right.
it, but in my mind, these guys, there's a slight obligation there to support something that you got going on since you've been supporting them all these years. I know you never say it, Dave, but I'll say it. I don't care if I say it. There's an obligation there.
Yeah.
Show up.
Yeah.
Yes. What?
That ain't slight.
There's a
Nothing slight
fucking
about that.
obligation.
Hey,
Just
guys,
make it happen.
Yes. Let's
Yes.
be real. If you've been to a Dave Marrocco practice, right?
Right.
So arm wrestlers, if you're watching this, please. I know a lot of you guys who are watching this right now have been to a Dave Marrocco practice. It may not have been on a Thursday. It may have been on a Saturday when Craig Touye was there and Marcio Barboza was there and Devin Larrett was there and Matt Mask was there and Todd Hutzings was there and Travis Bajan was there and all these guys that come to Dave Marrocco's big practices. If you ever been to one of them, come to Dave Marrocco's tournament, right? Like I can rewind time, and the initial part of my journey, my first practice started with Tim Breslin. I had a couple up there, and then my next real big practice was at Dave Marrocco's, and I really never turned back from there. And Dave, Dave's 2 hours from me, but going to Dave's Thursday practice, even though I got to work on Friday, is well worth its weight in gold. And we developed a relationship over that time that I cherish greatly as far as the arm wrestling community goes. Any human being who will open his house for 30 years every week, on Thursday, every week, is special to the sport. And that is what's grown it for the past 30 years. And if you think that that's easy to do, I challenge you to do it yourself. So Dave, hats off to you. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I mean, we live 6 hours and we've been down to Dave's, or 5 hours, 6 hours. Yeah, we've been in that basement, looking for some alcohol over in the corner and trying to arm wrestle. So,
I think this tournament coming is going to be. I think it's going to be good. We might be pleasantly surprised, which I'm trying not to get surprised. So I think what you said earlier, Paul, if someone presses going, so we can have just an inclination of what's going to take place or what to be ready for from a referee standpoint. So I don't have to run ragged. So, but I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm the guy that's going to fill in whatever needs to be done. I will make it happen. But I think it's going to be a good event. It's going to be a fun event.
This is important, and we need to put this in the description of the event, because we'll put the link and everything else, and people can find it. But what are the weight classes for men's right arm?
Yeah, I'm going to go to my phone right now while we're doing that. You know what?
All right.
Just to mention this, though, we've overstaffed. I always try to overstaff in case somebody doesn't show up or in case we need to make this thing run faster.
Right. So while you're confirming that, let me just explain to everybody. There's not too many tournaments locally that are offering monetary payout. So like the ROTN that we talked about in West Virginia, there was no payouts to the pro classes. You had to win that ROTN first, second, or third. And the first place winner got 500. The second got, what was it? 532, right?
I think so.
So you had to win. You had to be the winner of all of the weight classes combined. Not only did you have to be the winner of that, but in order to win it, you had to win 14 matches in the overall. So to win 14 matches. And if you wanted to take second, I think you had to win 10. And then third was whoever had the most before the end of the time. And that's how you got your money there. So for Dave, for your tournament, I think there's four men's weight classes. I'm not sure the exact weights right now. I can't remember them off the top of my head.
I got them for you right now. You want them?
Yeah, shoot 'em.
Hey, getting back to that RO10, who won that? 14 times? How many times you had to win to win it?
You had to win 14 matches to win first place.
Who won that?
Well, Paul Talbot won left.
Well, I was talking about the other guy. Who's the other guy?
Yeah, some idiot with a green shirt.
Yeah,
we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to hear.
But in any case, that's a pseudo hard road to win your $500. Whereas what Dave is offering is 532 to the winner of their weight class plus a progressive overall. And I don't think we talked about that. That was the final agreement, right? There's 4 weight classes, and the light and middle meet. Whoever wins that gets paid at that point.
Right.
And
Again,
then they meet.
That's like winning the semis. So
Yeah.
yes, it's
You win the
progressive
semis,
payout.
you get paid.
Yeah.
You get paid again.
Right.
So let's say you're the man. You're the man as the lightweight or the middleweight, right? And you won right hand. Bam, you make $500. And you're good with your left, and you win 100 left. So now you're $600 in. You enter the overall. You win the first round. I think that's another $250 or whatever the payout is.
Correct.
And
Now
now
you're up to $850.
yeah. And then before you know it, you are the Superman, and you win the complete overall. I think you stick. What is it?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're starting at 5.
Okay.
We're having a Friday night weigh-in. Saturday weigh-ins 1:30 to 3:30. We'll put all this up. We got a reasonable clothing allowance, which I put as 3 pounds.
Yep.
That means when you got jeans, a t-shirt, and your socks on, that's 3 pounds. That way we don't have to run around for you to get naked. And but at the same time, you're not coming in a pair of shorts, a little tiny tank top, no socks, and weighing in, getting that extra 3 pounds.
Yeah,
That's not,
you can get 3 pounds with your clothes on when it's the same day weigh-in.
We got men's pro 160, 190, 220, and 221 plus. We have masters at 199 and 200 plus. Women's pro 160, 161 plus. Novice or amateur, whatever you want to call it, same as the pros, 160, 190, 220, 221 plus. All awards for all those classes. The women are going to get the payouts also.
You don't have one of the awards there, do you, James?
What's that?
Do you have one of the awards?
I have it on the. No. They're coming. They're coming in the
pretty
mail.
Cool. It's pretty cool award, Paul. It's got a sphere looking. It's actually a little bit of Native American.
It's an arrowhead. Yeah, it's a 5-inch arrowhead. That's the first.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's pretty. That's what it is on a metal.
Yeah, a 5-inch arrowhead.
Yeah.
And then the fourth, and it's not on the metal. It's shaped like an arrowhead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it's a metal.
Yeah. And then we got the 4-inch for second and 4-inch for third. So you got the breakdown. You got men's first place 300, men's second 2, men's third 100, men's pro left first place $100, women's pro right 150, women's pro left 100, semifinal winners $200. Oh, that's 1,000. I thought we did 250. Overall, another 500. So you win your division. Say you win the 160. You'll go against the 190 guy. Whoever wins that gets another $200. Then you go against whoever won the heavy and the super. And if you win that, that's a $500 winner. You come out with $1,000. So the guy overall, you win $1,000.
But yeah, plus if you can win left arm. If you win left arm, it's 1,100.
Left arm, you win first place $100.
And, but that's another 100 on top of your 1,000 on the right.
Another 100.
So it's $1,100 a day if you want to do it.
Yes.
And if you're a super beast, you pull up a weight class and you win both of them.
Why not?
And then you mess the whole progression.
Absolutely. Now that you said that, that's absolutely not going to happen. So forget it. No, we're not going to let that happen. We want those matches.
Don't think for a second that Todd Hutchings might not try that.
Yeah. Todd Hutchings.
Because he can make 220. I just talked to him. He can make 220.
We didn't consider that. What do we want to do about that?
No, it is what it is. It is what it is.
What?
If Todd comes, no, listen and think about it. If you come and you win the 220s and you also have to simultaneously pull the supers and you win that, you have to go through more shit than you would have to go through with just winning the 220s and then beating the super.
I don't like it.
I
don't know, Dave. Me and Dave will discuss it. I don't know. I mean,
what I wouldn't like is if the 190 won the 220. If the 190 pulled the 190 and the 220, then it would get tricky.
Yeah,
what about
Talbot's
Paul
coming.
He is?
Unless something changes.
Okay,
he's
so
coming.
Look, here, hey, Dave,
he's coming unless.
So check this out. So Paul Talbot, I mean, Todd Hutchins is going to have to deal with the likes of not a great, but a good Kenny Smith, a good Doug Allen, a good Paul Talbot, a Steve Walker. So all those hands together and to pull both classes, and the problem is going to be Paul Talbot at the end for Todd Hutchins versus Steve Walker early. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Steve. I love Steve. But Paul Talbot sitting there fresh, waiting for Todd Hutchins to get to him. Paul Talbot is a problem for about anybody.
He is.
And the way I watch him pulling right now, and then you're going to get to see Kenny Smith and Paul Talbot go left-handed. Although, just to be quite honest, it's not the Kenny Smith we're all used to, but Kenny's probably good enough to mix it up. We'll see how he fares left-handed. But I don't know if Kenny's even going to pull right-handed. But I told him if he feels twingy right-handed, he gets in a bad position, just let your arm go down. Just let it go down.
Well, you know what?
But it's going to be interesting. Hey, then you got Doug Allen. Look, then you throw Doug Allen in there. Doug Allen sometimes is that black horse, man, that dark horse that remember when he just won the left-handed down there against Latimer, freaking Jerome Loud,
everybody.
All those guys.
Leave it to Paul to find a loophole in our event. You know what I mean? We're trying to have a nice little event, and Paul's got to bring out some kind of problem. It is a problem if Paul.
No, it's a good problem.
If Paul Talbot wins the 190 and the 200, that's a problem. 220.
Well, it's a 190 and a 220.
And you got Anthony Snook. I think he said he was coming. Not 100%.
He should be. He's in the money.
Sam Harris?
No.
I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to reach out. Yeah. All these guys are in the money. They should just make the drive. You're in the money. Just come get a little bit of at a minimum.
And then Brad Gundy, he's coming from Florida. He's 100% coming. He's staying at my house that night. So Brad's coming. He's coming. So it's going to be a nice event, I believe. I'm pretty pumped up about it. I think it's going to be a nice event. Right. And I think the quality, because this little bit of cash brings it's going to be the quality more than the quantity of people that are going to be there. And then, quality. I got a lot of new guys. That have been coming to Pulse. So I got 3 or 4 new guys that are very, look like they might be able to do something after they put the time in, and some good prospects coming down the pipeline. So we've got some new guys, and that's another thing that I believe as promoters are about. We really need to
you got to take care of them.
Of course, we got to take care of these novice guys, and just as I mentioned, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the pro. Yeah, we can't treat the novice and the amateurs like they're pieces of shits, because they're not. They are just as important. And there's going to be one of the novice guys. They're going to come up to be a pro and to be a warrior. So we have to treat them as equal, even though they're not up to that pro status per se just yet. What is that supposed to mean? You treat them differently?
No. And you know what? That brings up it brings up a good analogy.
We have 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. All right. It brings up a good analogy though, Dave. And I think it's important we talk about that too. The novice and amateurs. Like you coach sports. Your kids play football, baseball, everything else. Like it's a good analogy to look at it. Like if you're a coach, you can't spend all your time on the seniors. If you spend all your time on the seniors, you have no future, right? You're living
Correct.
in the now. So if all we do is give all of our attention to the pros, do they deserve it? Absolutely, they deserve it. They paid their dues. They put the work in, but we still got to be ready for that next generation, right? So you got to show these guys some love, and I think that's something that in the Northeast as a whole, I think we've really done a great job of focusing on. So if you're a new puller, please come on out. We respect where you're at in your game, and we're going to do our best to help your transition into the higher ranks be seamless.
Well, it's obvious we've been already doing that. When we put in four divisions, and those 3 divisions aren't for the pros; they're for the newer pullers. And we saw more amateurs the last 2 years. We saw more amateurs at Keystone State and New York State than we did pros. So of course we're gonna cater to those guys. You know, we want them. They're the ones we're gonna have next year or year after.
They're the future. They're the future. They are the future. They are the next.
Sing that song.
They are the next.
Sing that song. Sing that song.
That we I don't even know how to sing.
Yeah, we are the future. Whatever that.
James, I'm not as old as you. I'm not as old as you. I don't know that song. I don't know that song.
What else were we talking about before that? Because we have about 8 minutes. We were saying something.
I don't know.
Me neither.
What did you guys? I'll just bring something else up. What are your thoughts on the performance and the after the layoff of John Brzenk? What did you guys think?
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up that reffing crap from the weekend.
Yeah. I
was looking forward to that.
No.
Yeah, I was let's get it.
John Brzenk's performance after that long day and everything was nothing short of excellence, you know. And I truly believed, and I know the match was close for sure. As much as a lot of people online think that John was in total control, he was redlined for sure. He said it plenty. I thought Chance did a great job, and I thought Chance had a shot at winning. But John is just the GOAT, you know what I mean? He's so smooth, and he figured everything out, and he was so poised in the moment. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, John Brzenk is a very humble guy. He can lull you to sleep. He can just – you're almost like – I almost feel like when I watch people pull John, they get hypnotized up there. You know, I mean, they just get mesmerized because John is so nice. He's so humble. He doesn't get crazy. But this dude is such a frickin' – he executes. I've never seen him since he's gotten good, or since I've been watching him pull for 30 years, make a huge mistake on the table. He just does not falter, you know, up there from a technical standpoint. He just doesn't do it. He is going to find the weakest path of resistance and find out where he can manage the easiest. And then, you know, if he feels he's in control of the match, he'll go in there and grind and try to beat you in your strong spot, which everyone tries that once in a while. But yeah, I thought he did very well. Just a little, just the best arm wrestler ever. So hats off to Chance for pulling him very well. Chance was right there, you know, mixed it up very well. It was a very good showing for the young man. The ceiling, I mean, there's really no ceiling for this kid Chance. He's still a baby, man. He's still he hasn't even developed into full man strength yet. I mean, my goodness, this dude is he's done very, very well. So I thought it was a good match for both of them, and it was good to see John Brzenk on the table because I don't know, just like Travis said at the end, I don't know how many more times we're going to get to see that. So need to when John Brzenk shows up at a tournament, and if you've never seen him pull, it's worth the trip to. If you live a couple states away, to watch this guy perform, because he's a little different than all the other guys, man.
He's different, man. He's special for sure. So Dave, what's next for you beyond this tournament? I know you're gonna enjoy this. You're gonna work a little bit. You're gonna enjoy the moment. We're gonna do some side pulling and practicing. What is next for you? What are your goals?
This IFA,
coming up.
this IFA thing. I was online to get down to like what it was, 231 or what, I don't even know what the weight is for the IFA. But then I had this sciatica thing where my back kind of ruined me for 2 months. I was just like, I had a slip disc S105, so it kind of set me back from lifting and doing all this stuff. But I was able to arm wrestle once a week, so I did maintain that. So I just started the accessory work stuff. So I've already, as a matter of fact, I registered today for the IFA thing.
Nice.
But I'm going to pull the heavies instead of trying to rush down to 230, and I'm not going to do that. It just doesn't make sense at this time. And then I'm going to try to reset from an angled standpoint and try to do some different things like supination, and we'll see what it takes from there. But generally during football season, like my youngest plays football, I generally stay around the house around the holidays. Usually around, I'll September, if I go to the thing in Orlando, there's a chance I might find another event in November or something, but then I probably won't find something serious till springtime. But I would like to find a super match or something. I need something to keep
We
me
got something for you in
motivated, man.
November. We got something for you in November.
What?
We have something
What's
for
that?
you in November. Well, Paul and I have New York State Underground Championships in November. And it's going to be a big card because you got the ending to the Cock of the Walk, you got the ending to the Triple Crown, and we plan on having some big matches on Friday night prior to the Saturday tournament.
So if you want a match on Friday night, we just got to figure out who.
Yeah, it's yours.
Oh yeah,
So start thinking. We got until November. November should be close to the end of football. What's the date on that, James?
19th,
November what?
19th and 20th.
That's coming close to the end.
Is it in the city? Is it in the city?
No, it's in Utica.
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know what that
It's
is.
about it.
Nowhere near the city. Nowhere near the city.
50 minutes.
Good. So it's
50 minutes east of Syracuse, heading towards Albany.
So it's up north in New York.
Yeah. It's right.
How far is it? How far is it from Baltimore, Paul?
A million miles.
My guess would.
A million?
Huh?
It's 5+ hours. That's because we're driving down to you.
Yeah,
so
that just means.
Well, that's fine.
That just means you got to pick me up on Friday, Dave.
That's fine.
Pick me up 81. We'll ride together.
Hey, make sure if you're down in Florida, you say hello to our friend.
Which one?
Our friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Make sure you extend my hello to him too. Yeah, don't leave me out.
All right, I got it.
Yeah. Make sure, please. We got a minute left.
It'll be a proper handshake. I can promise you that.
Yeah, thank you.
We got a minute left. We got a minute left.
We got a minute left.
All right, let's close her out. Hey, Dave, big thanks for joining us. Let's do our best here to make this tournament excellent. So everybody who's watching, make sure you support if you can. If you're in driving distance, please join us. We will all be there. James, as the technical director, thank you so much for getting this up and going and setting up the recording.
If you don't make it, to the tournament, don't ever show up at Dave's house again. Do not ever. You are banned from Dave's house for the rest of your life because he's going to have another 30 years. Do not come. Yes, there you go.
Stick to the technical stuff, James.